What's up YouTube, back with another video, and I know I normally upload playbook videos and tutorials, but today is more of a discussion type video because 2K recently put out a poll on Twitter asking people how they felt about the badges in each category. So they asked if they felt like the badges are too strong, too weak, or just fine. And I kind of wanted to give my thoughts on the badges and the badge system and what they can do for 2K21, and also just open up a discussion in the comments letting me know what you think or how you feel about it as well. And I don't really anticipate a lot of people seeing this, so if you do watch it, drop a like and also comment. Like I said, can open up a discussion, let me know how you feel about what I'm saying, or there's a couple things that I probably won't go over that we could talk about in the comments as well. And I just wanted to use this video to go over 5 things that came to my mind after I seen the poll and I started thinking a little bit. So the 5 things are: making your attributes matter more than they do now, incorporating badges into the attributes, getting rid of useless badges or badges that encourage or don't necessarily punish bad play, coupling some badges together, and the last is giving numbers or actual percentages of what the badges really do. So number 1, I feel like attributes should matter more than they do, and right now I feel like attributes only really matter to unlock certain animations. So like having 84 and 85 driving dunk to get contact dunk animations, or having 86 ball handle to be able to speed boost and momentum dribble. And 2K always says that badges are supposed to complement your attributes and not give you the ability to do things you're not really supposed to do. But I'm not gonna say they lied, because they probably really did design it that way, but that never ends up being the case. And badges always seem to make your player do things that you're not really supposed to be doing. And a prime example of that is shooting. And this feels like it happens every year. So the game comes out, nobody can shoot, people complain, 2K makes a change, but then people eventually start learning the best jump shot bases, the best badges, and just like the little nuances for each game. So like this year it would be turning off the shot meter, and then you get to a point in the year where pretty much every build can shoot. So right now you have centers with like a 53 pointer being able to green threes. Like, that's ridiculous. And that's why, well, one of the reasons why the two-way slashing Playmaker is the best build in the game, because the only weak spot it had was not being able to shoot consistently. But you throw some badges on them and find a good jump shot, you can green consistently. And it'll be a lot worse if quick draw wasn't in the game. And when the game first came out, I really didn't like the fact that quick draw was a badge. But if you think about it, if it wasn't in the game and they were able to put those 2 or 3 badge points on another badge, it'll be a lot more ridiculous. And that's not just for two-way slashing Playmakers or lockdowns or centers, it's like for pretty much every build. And then you also create a lockdown meta where pretty much everybody's a lockdown because they have elite defense, they're pretty athletic, they usually have good finishing even if you don't pick the finishing pie chart, and your attributes are good enough and you get enough badges to green shots consistently. And that leads us into number 2, where they could incorporate some badges into your attributes so that your attributes matter more. Plus, I feel like some badges don't really need to be badges and they can just be like built into your attributes. So an example of that would be the unpluckable badge. Unpluckable is basically the ball security attribute that they used to have and then they took it out and now it's back as unpluckable badge. But I feel like that doesn't even need to be a badge, and that you could incorporate that into your ball handle stat or attribute. So the higher your ball handle, the better your ball security is. And to me, that just makes a lot of sense. And you can also make that argument for a lot of different badges. So badges like back down punisher, brick wall, and moving truck, you could argue that they don't even need to be badges and they can just be based around your strength attribute. So the higher your strength, the more effective screens you set, and it makes it easier for you to push people around in the post, which makes sense because now you can have a minimum weight rebounding wing with Hall of Fame brick wall, and he can be putting, point guards on their back because pick dodger don't even work and they have like no chance of doing anything on defense. Like, they will eventually get hit by a screen and not be able to move, and I don't think that should be a thing. You can say the same for rim protector, that the higher your block rating, the more likely you are to block a shot and get more snatch block animations. And also the part of rim protector where it increases your takeover, you can give that part to Heart Crusher. So right now Heart Crusher, it just gives a penalty to the opponent when you block a shot or steal the ball from them. But you could also add that extra boost to your takeover and your team's takeover, and then just get rid of rim protector and make it based on your block attribute. So those were just a few examples, but like I said, you can make this argument with a lot of different badges. Like pickpocket can be incorporated into your steal rating, clamps can be incorporated into your perimeter defense rating, needle threader as well as lob city passer could be incorporated into pass accuracy attribute, acrobat can be incorporated into your driving layup attribute. And I'm not saying like they should implement all of these, I'm just saying it's something for them to think about, and it'll also help getting rid of useless badges, because I feel like 2K just be making badges for the sake of making badges, and a lot of badges end up being useless or just not good for the game, which leads us into number 3, is getting rid of useless badges and badges that reward or don't punish bad play. So badges I put in this category are lightning reflexes, pump fake maestro, pass fake maestro, bailout, pogo stick, and ice in veins. So lightning reflexes is broken and it doesn't even work. Pump fake and pass fake maestro shouldn't even be badges, like they should just be built into the game, like especially pump fake maestro, because what it does is that it decreases the time it takes for you to shoot the ball after a pump fake, but I don't know why there's a delay in the first place. That's why people are able to just spam Y or triangle and keep jumping and jumping and jumping after you pump fake, because you can't shoot the ball when you really want to shoot the ball after the pump fake, and you just end up getting blocked anyways. So those two should just be implemented into the game. Then you have bailout, which is basically a get out of jail free card that really shouldn't be in the game. Like if I'm playing good defense and I bait you into taking a contested shot, you shouldn't just be able to pass out and then, you know, get the ball back and do whatever. I feel like you should be penalized for that. So bailout could go, and the same goes for pogo stick. I don't know why 2K made that a badge, because this is something that 2K hasn't really gotten right in years. Like for years now, you're able to just spam Y or triangle over and over and over again and still end up getting a block and never really get penalized for it. So the fact that they made this a badge is crazy to me, and it just rewards bad defense. Like to be honest, you're better off jumping over and over and over again than you are just having your hands up, which is completely backwards and makes no sense. So that badge can go. And the last one, ice and veins. Ice and veins is pretty useless, but it could be combined with clutch shooter to make it a little bit better, which leads me to number 4, is they can combine some badges together to make just one bigger, better badge. And like I just said, ice and veins is pretty useless by itself, but it can be combined with clutch shooter to make it better. Plus they're basically the same badge, it's just that ice and veins is for free throws and clutch shooter is just for regular shots. So I feel like they could just combine those two badges and make them one badge. Another example could be fast break finisher and showtime. Those two badges separately are okay on their own, but really don't match up to other badges like contact finisher, slithery finisher, relentless finisher, acrobat, lob city finisher. Like you probably want to use those badges over fast break finisher and showtime, but if you put fast break finisher and showtime together as one badge and then tweak it a little bit, because I think showtime works only for like and ones and flashy dunks, but if they was to include alley-oops and contact dunks as well as add fast break finisher to it, then that badge is a lot more appealing. You can also make that argument with clamps and lightning reflexes, assuming that lightning reflexes work, as well as needle threader and lob city passer. So I'm not saying they should implement all of those, but combining badges together is just an idea to make those badges that are useless a lot better, plus to get rid of the badges that just seem like filler. And the last thing is to give numbers or percentages on what the badges really do, because the in-game description barely tells you anything. And I know there's like channels like 2K Labs that do a lot of badge testing, but I don't see why 2K can't just give us the numbers and then we can get a more accurate understanding of what a badge does, plus do more further testing if we need to. And this will also prevent people from using badges that are broken and don't even work, as well as those placebo badges, the badges that you think work but don't really work that much. So like lightning reflexes is broken, pickpocket and interceptor, I don't even think they work neither. I get just as much steals without them than I do with them. Unpluckable barely works, pick dodger don't work, I don't think stop and go works neither. Green machine I feel like is one of those placebo badges. It's a badge that works, but it doesn't work as much as you think it does, and you have some people that swear by it and then you have some people that don't use it. Like me personally, I have Hall of Fame shooting badges on this build, but I use green machine on silver. I feel like I green just as much as on silver than on Hall of Fame or even on bronze. So those were the 5 things that I wanted to talk about in this video. I really didn't talk about badges that needed to be buffed or nerfed or changed or removed that much. We could talk about that in the comments though. I know for a fact Intimidator is on that list, just for the simple fact that you can stand next to somebody and not do anything and force them to miss, or even worse, when they're 10 feet behind you on a fast break and they make you miss a dunk. Like, that shouldn't be a thing. Slithery finisher is kind of OP with the baseline dunks. Fancy footwork could use a slight nerf, and there's more, but I don't want to make the video too long, so hope you enjoyed the video. If you stayed this long, let me know how you feel in the comments. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more content.